Good morning. It is Friday, February 16th. Here's what we're working on. Some McMaster University students will have to relocate again because of water issues at a residence.
Hamilton Ticats favorite hanging up his cleats.
And John Wick is heading to Vegas. Good morning. It feels like a Friday, doesn't it?
We were a hot mess strolling in here, weren't we?
We were not strolling in. We were both running in.
We were like that Alberta Clipper that pulled through the area yesterday trying to get on, like all ready to go. But we're here. Hello, Brian.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Yeah,
A little worn out this morning because of all my Flag Day festivities that I had last night.
Yes.
I'm thinking I should pull what Tim does, is the day after the big day. I should have the day off after my big party from Flag Day.
I bet all those festivities. Those flags were just flying this morning with those winds.
Exactly.
Weren't they, right?
The winds and the snow that we had yesterday. We got officially we got 5.8 centimeters yesterday in Hamilton.
So you were out there measuring?
I was out there. I got my official ruler out and went, there we are, 5.8 centimeters. Some areas got more. I don't know what you got.
Yeah, got more than that, and people forget how to drive in the snow.
Yes.
What's going on?
They had to close the FL lanes to the Clappersons for a big chunk of the afternoon yesterday.
That's right. They finally opened it. They finally got plows through and the salters through so they could get it open. But yeah, what a headache that was yesterday. So many headaches with that snow. And of course, the wind really kicked in as well. We had some heavy snow a few hours in the mid-afternoon. It really came down, and then it tapered off a little later on. Snow squall warnings to our north. If you're driving north, maybe say Highway 6 up through Arthur, Mount Forest, Kenilworth. Yay, Kenilworth. Snow squall warnings in effect for that area. There's squalls coming off the lakes. But for us today, it's not going to be an awful lot. Temperature is going to be on the chilly side, about -1 for the day. The winds will be fairly strong, but they'll die off later on. Mainly cloudy, but chance of flurries as the day goes on. So a little bit of sun, but that's about it. Looking at traffic this morning, again, nothing to talk about. Just be careful because some secondary routes are still snow covered and quite slippery, so be careful. Main routes, not too bad. 403 Waterdown Road looks good right there. Let's check some MTO traffic cameras. Centennial Parkway, still light volume, nothing happening through here, no collisions, not a lot at Skyway Bridge, Appleby Line, no problems here. Weather and traffic coming up for you right now, the news.
Okay, thanks very much, Brian. Well, water issues at a McMaster student residence building in downtown Hamilton continue as bacteria is flushed out of the water supply. Simone Gavros now joins us out front of the building at Bay and King with more.
Hi, good morning, Annette. Well, as we know, earlier this month, all the residents in this building had to move out as crews work to tackle this ongoing water issue. And that is still going on as a number of floors are still being relocated to continue to flush out this water system. Now, in a recent update yesterday from the university, they said that about 23 students on 3 floors will need to temporarily relocate once again. The university didn't specify where the residents are going or for how long, but crews are expected to chlorinate the water system on floors 10 to 16 all next week, and that's supposed to start on Tuesday. The update says that water is contained in this plumbing zone, which would eliminate any potential contamination onto any other floors. But as of right now, about 17 floors continue to be clear of any bacteria. Now, residents are expected to be given another update on Wednesday about the ongoing water system cleaning that's happening here, but I have reached out to the university as well as some student groups for more updates. Tim, I'll send things over to you.
All right, thanks, Simone. Well, a flight into Hamilton ended in an arrest yesterday afternoon with police saying they've laid 3 charges against a man in his 50s. Hamilton police say the flight landed around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The passenger was arrested shortly thereafter. We believe it was an Air Transat flight out of Cuba, working to confirm that and other details. So far, police say the man has been charged with common nuisance, endanger life, assaulted an aircraft, and caused disturbance. Now, Krista Lee Ernst from Hamilton Police says those first 2 charges, those are rare and have a high bar before being laid. Alcohol is believed to have been a factor.
Several schools in Milton were placed in a hold and secure yesterday as Halton police look for 4 suspects from an armed robbery at a pharmacy. All 4 had taken off in a stolen vehicle, which ended up colliding with a cruiser. The 4 then ran off, but 3 of them have been arrested. Students were kept in schools in the area, and the search also included the First Ontario Arts Centre in Milton. The hold and secure orders were lifted around 2:30 yesterday afternoon. We have an update now on a story that we first brought you earlier this month. City of Hamilton is taking a homeowner on Hamilton Mountain to court, alleging he is building his home without the proper permit. The house on Bonaventure Drive near Garth in the Link is being built on the same property where a home exploded in 2021. Neighbors have complained, saying it towers over other houses in the area, with some wondering why such a big home is being allowed to be built. Now, the manager of building inspections for the City of Hamilton, Bob Nuttall, says the city is going ahead with charges under the Ontario Building Code Act for construction without the necessary building permits and failure to comply with issued orders. Yeah, it's the end of an era. Longtime Hamilton Tiger Cat star Simone Lawrence has announced his retirement from football. After 11 seasons in the CFL, the 35-year-old linebacker says he's done with the game, but he's going to stay as a part of the organization. He is moving on as brand and community ambassador with the Hamilton Sports Group, which owns the Ticats. Lawrence has participated in over 500 community events during his career. He's been a fan favorite in Hamilton since he signed on with the Ticats in 2013. He says no matter what he did, Hamilton was always going to be home.
In the game of football, it's a young man's sport for sure. You know, I'm extremely blessed to be able to play football for as long as I did for Hamilton for 10 years and not really get any major injuries and stuff. And, you know, God know when to hold them and fold them. So it was time.
He was a 3-time All-Star, 5-time East Division All-Star, and 3-time East Division Most Outstanding Defensive Player. Lawrence has played in 13 playoff games, including 6 East Finals and 4 Grey Cups.
You know, like we hear the name Lawrence, I don't recognize Lawrence. It's Simone. If you say Simone in this town, everybody knows who you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's not Lawrence, it's Simone. It's number 21.
Yeah.
And they're going to be celebrating 21 Wednesday at that graduation. It's $21 it's going to cost to be there.
And all the money goes to Food for Kids, which is an organization that he has supported for many years. Yeah, and he supported the Bulldogs Foundation, Peggy Chapman and Bruiser. They're going to be on the show a little bit later, and they're going to be talking about what he's done for them, and then we're going to get him on the show because he's obviously a friend of the show and been on many times in the past. He is my favorite guest host for weather.
Oh, he's a good,
That's where I kind of like, oh, wow, Simone is really cool. The first time he did the weather with Brian as a guest host, I'm like, oh, this guy is neat.
Well, he brings the energy. So we'll miss him on the field, but glad that he's staying in town. So good stuff, Simone. Plenty to get to in Sportsline. Let's talk about the Leafs because Austin Matthews did what Austin Matthews does: score goals last night.
Down to Domi, flips it back for Matthews. It was knocked down by Couturier. Matthews had a tap in at the side of the goal. Onside for Matthews, shoots, scores! Hat-trick, Austin Matthews!
Yeah, he would put up his 5th hat-trick of the season, which ties a Leafs and NHL record. Also, it was a natural hat-trick, meaning they were scored in succession in the second period to pull the Leafs in front of the visiting Flyers 3-1. He's now up to 45 goals in the 51 games he's played. Now, Toronto would blow that lead in the third, but luckily pulled out the win in overtime as Willie Nylander would score the winner for a second straight to W, 4-3 the final.
1 goal shy of his career high of 24. Here's McTavish, and he scores! Oh, wow.
Former Bulldog Mason McTavish put an end to his former owner Michael Andlauer's NHL team's 4-game winning streak as he would score twice in Ottawa, a spot he grew up playing minor hockey as Anaheim would hammer the Sens 5-1 to halt any goodwill coming out of the nation's capital. McTavish and the Ducks, they are in Toronto tomorrow.
Recovered by Gabby Marshall. Here comes Clark. How will she go for history?
Listen, what a special night for women's basketball. as Iowa's Caitlin Clark set the NCAA women's basketball scoring record with a shot almost from half court to pass Kelsey Plum's record of 3,527 points. She didn't stop there either, setting a school record with 49 points of the night in Iowa's 106-89 win over Michigan. Remember this name, Caitlin Clark, because she's the expected #1 pick in the WNBA draft. She's only 99 points away from Pete Maravich's all-time scoring record for men's and women's basketball. Yeah, we've all been there, Tiger. All us weekend warriors. He was back on the course in his first appearance of the season, looking like all of us with that shank job. But a lot of us can't do that. He was sporting his new apparel line, Sunday Best, put up a beauty shot from behind the trees to get it onto the green. He would drop it in for a bogey. Finish 8 shots back at 1 over. Patrick Cantley is the leader. And Adam Svensson is the top Canadian at 4 under. Mackenzie Hughes at 2 under. And quickly, shout out to Sportsnet's Hazel May for posting these videos on her socials of some of the action from the Blue Jays yesterday. Is pitchers and catchers had their first workout to the spring in Dunedin. The best pitching staff in the majors from a year ago is back, and so was Alek Manoah, hoping to rebound from a disastrous year. He was looking pretty good, looking much slimmer too as he gets set to gain back a starting spot. The rest of the squad arrives early next week with the first spring training game a week Saturday.
Okay, 6:11 is the time. It is Friday, and it's the, what is it, the 16th of February already? It is, yes. Looking at traffic this morning, 403 Waterdown Road. We have no problems in the Hamilton area. Roads are pretty good. The main routes are pretty good this morning. It's the secondary roads that are still snow-covered, could be slippery, so be really careful. Let's go to our MTO traffic cameras. I thought for a second, oh, this is blurry, but it's my vision because of my celebration for Flag Day last night. But no, this is just one of the MTO traffic cameras showing us the problem that we have west of Eastport, and they haven't focused in on this, but as you can see, we have problem both sides of the highway, and this is Toronto bound coming towards the Skyway just west of Eastport. If we go back into St. Catharines, that's much clearer. Thank you very much. Welland looks good. In St. Catharines, 403 Junction, no problems east of Royal Windsor all the way through Etobicoke Creek. So yep, just that one problem west of Eastport Drive, as you can see. All right, or see it blurrily. All right, let's go to our, yes, blurrily. I'm looking at it blurrily. It's Friday, you know. All right, temperature at the moment sitting at -4. The winds are dying off. They were really strong. Yesterday evening they kicked in. Last night they were strong. They're dying off a little bit now, west-southwest at 22. So that makes it feel like -10. So it's a cold start, and it is a mainly cloudy start. For school today, we will have mainly cloudy skies, just some flurries on and off. Temperature about -1, wind chill around -5 for the day. The low pressure system that plagued us yesterday with the snow has pushed away. What we're getting now is that northwesterly flow, and that's going to kick in the lake effect machine. So snow squall warnings to the north of us along the Highway 6 corridor up toward Owen Sound. Be careful of that. Another low pressure system going by us on Sunday could bring us a little bit of flurry activity. Today, bit of sunshine, otherwise some flurries. Temperatures -1, -2 to 0 for Mississauga, Milton into Brampton and Toronto. Tonight it's going to be cold, -6, -7 degrees, wind chill about -13. So yeah, we'll call that a cold night. And then tomorrow, our temperature struggles. -3 for Niagara, -4, and the winds are strong tomorrow. So the wind chill during the day tomorrow is going to be -13. So even though we'll get some sun, it'll be a chilly day. So out the door this morning, it's mostly cloudy. It's cold, -4, wind chill -10. Long range in a few minutes. Annette, Jeff.
Okay, let's check in now with Emily Vukovic about Chit Chat.
Forget Valentine's Day. I am like feeling super sleepy over that Flag Day celebration Brian Wood had last night. Slept through both of my alarms. Like, it was a party. Like, my kids were there. They can't go to school today.
We got no invite. We got no invite.
It was a bash.
To the Flag Day festivities.
Yeah,
Nothing.
it was a big
They
deal.
were in London, I think, right?
All right, well, coming up on Chit Chat, Lionsgate presents another Vegas spectacle. We're going to talk about John Wick coming up, as well as special programming right here on CHCH coming up this Sunday. day.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool.
We will discuss.
We'll have all of the blurrier details coming up. Stick around. Yeah. We'll teach your kids how to speak properly.
Okay, coming up in business news, Ontario says it's going to be making big changes when it comes to driving in Ontario. We'll have the good news and the bad coming up.
My baby beside me at the wheel. I stole a kiss at the turn of a mile.
6:17 on your Friday morning. Canadian dollar down 10 basis points in overseas trading to 74.17 cents U.S. Gold has gained $3.30, but crude is down 71 cents to $76.88 a barrel. Checking midday trading in Europe, the markets are up across the board.
Off to Asia we go. Markets are up in Tokyo and Shanghai, still closed in Hong Kong for the Lunar New Year. North American markets, another good day. Second day in a row, strong gains after a horrible, what day was that, Tuesday? Yeah, I think it was Tuesday.
Tuesday or Wednesday.
Tuesday, yeah. We'll see how they can wrap up the trading week on this Friday, February the 16th.
Well, Ontario is moving to ban road tolls, even though there are none right now on publicly run highways in the province. Transportation Minister Pramik Sakaria says the government's going to introduce a bill next week to ban future tolls on provincial highways. So it would apply to the Don Valley Parkway and Gardner Expressway in Toronto once they're uploaded to the province, and to the 400 series highways in Ontario. Driver's licenses and Ontario photocard fees would also be permanently frozen.
As the cost of everything from groceries to gas goes up, our government knows that many families are feeling the pinch in their wallets. The last thing they need to see is another unnecessary fee or toll coming their way. We have a responsibility to build Ontario and ensure people have convenient and affordable transit and the housing and infrastructure they need. With our province's population expected to grow by 5 million over the next 10 years, we can't afford not to. That is why our government is on a mission to keep costs down for families and businesses.
Tolls will, though, continue to be charged on the privately operated 407 Express toll route. The transportation minister says there's nothing the government can do about that.
Well, the federal government is being called upon to change the country's employment insurance program just to make it easier for expecting parents. Under current rules, a worker who pays into the system has to work a specific number of hours to qualify for benefits and has to do so for each claim that they make. Well, that means a new parent who has lost their job after taking parental leave has to work the necessary hours anew to get the regular benefits. The New Democrats and Labor leaders, they want this changed so Canadians who take parental leave can still access unemployment benefits if they are out of work. NDP MP Daniel Blakey says the current system is discriminatory, particularly against new moms.
A corporation that's co-owned by 13 Mi'kmaq communities is investing in new battery plants with Nova Scotia Power. The Canada Infrastructure Bank is providing an $18 million loan for this partnership. So the plants would draw and store electricity during off-peak periods and then release it back to the grid when needed. The head of the corporation that represents all 13 Mi'kmaq communities says creating a greener future is a priority for them. She calls the investment a true economic reconciliation.
A New Brunswick judge has granted a stay of proceedings in the trial of an Indigenous lobster fisherman accused of trapping out of season. Cody Kaplan of the Eel River Barn First Nation was arrested in September of 2018 by federal fishery officers and slapped with 10 charges in total. He launched a constitutional challenge amid and asserting Indigenous treaty rights. So the judge granted the Crown's request for a stay of proceedings because the lawyer handling the case was ill, noting he has the right to reopen the case within a year.
Okay, taking a break right now. Brian is back with your traffic and your weekend forecast.
A little chilly this morning.
6:24, good morning. It is Friday. Now, we are still looking at this view quite blurrily. adverbial tense of blurry. Put an ly on the end. Okay, this is the camera. Yeah. We're looking at this camera, the west of Eastport Drive. This is the only problem that we have at the moment. We've got a collision there. You can see we've got vehicles off to the left shoulder, off on the right shoulder, so it's a squeeze play in between these two situations on either shoulder, and it's slowing things down as you go back to Woodward Avenue coming out of Stony Creek. So that's the only situation we have. Nothing at the QEW at Mountain. Skyway Bridge looks good all the way through Appleby Line to Lorne Park, and we'll even dip into the 403 at Winston Churchill. Not a lot going on. Okay, temperatures right now, still -4 for Hamilton. Factor in the winds, it feels like -10. Same for Mississauga. A little bit better for Grimsby and Toronto, -3 and -2 at the moment. Our sun times today, 7:16 and 5:52. We gain 4 minutes of daylight today. Yay! -1 and -9 are our seasonals, and those are our records for today. So today for school, we should be around -3 for the first bell. Bit of sunshine, -2 and some flurry activity after school. Here's the long-range forecast. So -4 for tomorrow. Sunday, -1. Some flurries go by us. -1 for Family Day. At least it's going to be a nice, bright, sunny day on Family Day. And then Tuesday again. At least we sit on the plus side as we head through the middle of next week. That's your forecast. Annette and Tim.
By the way, gather the family around on Monday morning because we'll be here.
Yes, that's right. With our family.
Yes, we'll be
It's our family
entertaining
day.
Okay. Humans are the only animals, though, who like to tease each other. It turns out that our primate cousins also like to do some good old ribbing.
The scientists looked at video footage of chimps, orangutans, bonobos, and gorillas interacting with each other at zoos in San Diego and in Germany. The researchers paid really close attention to their actions, body movements, facial expressions, and the response of the target. In all, they found 18 different teasing behaviors. They included body slamming, poking, hindering movement, and hair pulling. The researchers say they rarely observed an aggressive reaction from the target of the teasing.
Interesting. That whole list are things that HR have come to me and said you cannot do to Annette anymore.
Anymore.
Because of the complaints that they have received.
Don't.
Okay. Absolutely. There will be no more monkeying around on this Friday morning, huh?
You're
Bringing the
chipping
goods.
out there.
Okay. Well, bringing the goods on a Friday. See you in a couple.